WKYT News starts now with breaking news.
Good afternoon, Bill Bryant and Barbara Bailey here for WKYT. We're about to hit 12:30 and we continue to track breaking news out of northern Kentucky. Evacuations are continuing following a train derailment in Falmouth in Pendleton County.
The mayor's office says the train derailed near Park Street. One of the train cars is believed to be hauling sulfuric acid, but there's no word if there's a leak. The school system is evacuating students from Southern Elementary, which is very near the crash site. They are being taken to Pendleton County High School.
Other people who live in the area have been told that they need to shelter in place. And US 27 is closed in both directions because of the derailment. You see some images on your screen that we do have in now. And we have a news crew heading to the scene. We'll bring you updates here on air and on WKYT.com. And also this afternoon, a tough first day back to school for some students and teachers at a Lexington elementary school.
Grief counselors are at Booker T. Washington today helping students deal with the loss of a former classmate. 11-year-old DeShannon Davis drowned last weekend after falling into a pond at Lexington Cemetery. Andrea Walker is at the school now with our top story at 12:30. Andrea?
It's a bittersweet first day of school for students and staff here at Booker T. Washington Elementary after the death of DeShannon Davis.
11-year-old DeShannon Davis drowned on Sunday after falling into a pond at Lexington Cemetery. Grief counselors are on the scene on this first day of school to provide comfort to the students and staff affected by this tragedy. Family Resource Coordinator Monica Hall says trying to broach the subject of death and loss with elementary school children can be difficult.
How do you explain something like this to children?
I think the first thing is just to listen to them, let them open up and talk to us, most importantly, before we, step in and say something to them. Just try to work through their feelings and just help them cope with it the best that, you can.
DeShannon was the oldest of 3 kids. He leaves behind a brother in the 1st grade and a sister in 3rd.
11-year-old DeShannon was set to start the 6th grade today at Leestown Middle School. In Lexington, Andrea Walker, WKYT.
Andrea, thank you. And grief counselors will also be available for students and staff at Leestown Middle School.
State police have started an investigation into a threat against a police officer. Somebody sent a letter to the mayor of Bergen making threats against the city's only acting police officer. Casey Rucker says he believes the culprit is someone who is mad at him for doing his job.
My wife and my child's 3. She has no clue, but my wife, she has to constantly watch her back as well as mine. And that comes with the job because, you're putting criminals behind bars and, they're upset because they have to go behind bars. But it's ridiculous that I'm here I have to provide for my family, okay? Just like everybody else does when they go to a job. Just my job involves a lot more different things and that involves the law.
Rucker says state police and the Mercer County Sheriff's Office will be helping watch his back until they find the source of that threat. A downtown Richmond business remains closed this afternoon after fire heavily damaged the store.
Investigators are calling the fire at the Family Dollar near downtown suspicious. As WKYT's Victor Puente reports, the store could be closed for weeks.
This Family Dollar is still closed, and the people who work here say they don't anticipate it reopening anytime soon. The fire that started Tuesday afternoon caused heavy damage to the Richmond Family Dollar store on Main Street. The fiance of a man who works there tells me they got the call of the fire, came down to see water leaking out of the building from the efforts to put it out. She said a manager told them they believe someone set toilet paper or paper towels on fire, and then it spread to some neighboring chemicals. Once that fire was out, the Richmond Fire Department said they believe it was suspicious, and now the Richmond Police Department is handling the investigation into the cause of the fire. That woman tells me her fiance is now out of a job. They may have to put their wedding plans on hold.
They said that the damage inside, they will not be able to reopen the store. He's actually out of a job over it because when they put the fire out, there was actually a lot of water damage on the inside as well. It was leaking out of the side of the building yesterday.
Yesterday, investigators told us they would be looking at surveillance video from inside and outside the store to see if it gave them any clues as to how the fire started. So far, police haven't been able to tell us if they've accessed that video. In Madison County, Victor Puente, WKYT.
Now, Main Street in Richmond was closed for several hours because of that fire. The neighboring building that used to house the CVS was also damaged. Police want to find a shoplifting suspect. Police say this woman has hit the Kohl's in Georgetown twice this month. She appears to have her young children with her. Police tell us stolen items include girls' clothing, which she hides in a stroller, and diaper bags.
There have been incidents where people have brought their children in and will do things like that. We've even had incidents where people would they would conceal items in car seats and strollers and then pushed it out of the store, or put the items under the child. So it does happen. Yeah, it is sad. I mean, I hate it.
Police say on both occasions the woman stayed in a dressing room for an hour. All the tags from the clothing were found.
Police in southern Kentucky are still searching for a man this afternoon accused of stealing a truck on Tuesday. Corbin police say Johnny Mullis was released from jail on Monday. He was in court Tuesday for a hearing, and police say when Mullis was leaving the Whitley County Courthouse, he stole an attorney's truck. There were 2 guns inside that truck. No other details have been released at the moment, but again, they are still looking for Mullis. Fayette County Schools Superintendent Manny Koch joined students on the bus today as they headed back to school early this morning.
It's the second year that Koch has decided to ride the bus alongside children. He waited at a stop with students going to Northern Elementary. He says learning begins before students even arrive at school.
It's incumbent upon and imperative upon all of us in Fayette County to be all in for that child's future, all in to make sure that child understands that education is a pathway to a better life.
2 Fayette County schools opened their doors for the first time this morning. Coventry Oak Elementary on Georgetown Road and Garrett Morgan Elementary on Polo Club will help alleviate overcrowding at other schools.
Well, sheep, cattle, goats, produce, it can only mean one thing. It is state fair time in Kentucky.
That's always fun. What you can expect from the Department of Agriculture next on WKYT.
Few showers and thunderstorms sparking up across the area right now. The bulk of it is to the north of us and moving north, so that won't really affect us. But how much more rain are we expecting throughout the rest of your work week and your weekend? Your 7-day comes up next.
Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with meteorologist Micah Harris.
Few showers down towards south and eastern Kentucky. Nothing that's really causing any problems right now. But you know what? Some of these thunderstorms that will be popping up later on this afternoon could cause a few issues. You're looking at some heavy downpours. A few sprinkles, a light shower or 2 down toward just south of Somerset, heads up Somerset. It'll be rolling across your viewing area here in just about 15 minutes coming out of McCreary County. But you look back toward the east and West Liberty. I was talking about you guys this morning that watch a few showers sparking up just to the south of you. This part is going to miss you, but look just to the south of that, just to the south of Mountain Parkway, rolling off into Magoffin County here very shortly. Yeah, you got some more rain on the way, so just keep that in mind. Sandy Hook, you got about 15 to 20 minutes. And you can see that rolling through Carter County. Not a lot. Yeah, you could get some brief downpours, but that's about it. Let's go through the rest of the afternoon. Here's what we're going to be looking at. Look how it's spread out once again. Just like yesterday, some get the rain, some do not. If you do get the rain, you're talking about some heavy rain. You can pick up a good inch in a very short amount of time. So just watch out for that. Maybe some ponding there on the roads. Obviously, some spots dry, some spots wet. You just got to be watching that as you travel in towards your afternoon. And some of this rain not only could add up very quickly, but a lot of lightning too. So you just don't want to be outside when these pop up. These are tropical downpours. Here's the breakdown of it. You got the low pressure system just to the south of us near the Gulf of Mexico. The flow around that, the actual wind flow, is counterclockwise. So what happens is those winds grab all that moisture in the Gulf of Mexico, and then it just streams it northbound. And that's why you're going to be seeing a lot of moisture heading into our region the next few days. The pipeline of that still looks like it's going to set up just to the north and just to the west of us. So western zones, northern zones, that is your best bet. And look at these numbers coming in through Monday. You're talking 2 to 4 inches out of this, which will give us the opportunity for flash flooding once again as we head off towards your weekend and off into Monday. Got to be watching that very closely. You look throughout your weekend, starting Saturday, this is bad news because Saturday, a big run going on. You got the Midsummer Nights run going on at 8 p.m. on Saturday here in downtown Lexington. It's bad timing for that because we do have rounds of showers and thunderstorms that you will be running through during that time on Saturday evening. Heading off into Sunday into Monday, still looks like a pretty good chance of rain, guys. So those 3 days look like the better opportunities of rain in the 7-day forecast.
Okay, thank you very much. And the Kentucky State Fair starts tomorrow, known for the Midway funnel cake shows and, of course, Kentucky agriculture.
Keith Rogers, Chief of Staff at the Kentucky Department of Agriculture, is here to tell us more about it. Welcome. Glad to have you here.
Thank you very much. Glad to be here to talk about the fair.
Appreciate it. You know, what a tradition, really, in Kentucky. And agriculture is the crux of how it all starts, with all the carnival activities and other things that go on as well.
That's very true. I mean, the Kentucky State Fair is over 100 years old, and agriculture is that tradition that keeps it going and has for over 100 years. It's kind of that showcase where Kentucky agriculture can come together and showcase to the rest of the state what's important about agriculture and where their food comes from.
Some of the best of the best.
Oh, absolutely. Behind the scenes, what does the Department of Agriculture do to make sure that it runs very smoothly?
Well, we have a lot to do. The Commissioner Ryan Quarles, serves on the State Fair Board. We are involved in many different aspects. Our state vet's office, for example, will be there to check health papers for the livestock coming in. Our inspectors for amusement rides will be in the Midway area checking for that. We will have anywhere from 100 to maybe 120 individuals, employees on the grounds any given State Fair day, putting on various programs, shows, watching over the midways, etc.
Keith, it's a reminder of how important agriculture still is here in Kentucky. Sometimes we forget that it is not only part of our history, but certainly is very important today.
That's exactly correct. Over a $5 billion industry in the state of Kentucky. And, you know, from corn and soybeans to cattle, to many of our new diversified operations that are selling directly to consumers and farmers markets. Agriculture over the last 10 to 15 years in Kentucky has moved from a tobacco economy to something that is tremendously diversified. And actually, we like to say at the Department of Agriculture, not only do we touch you 3 days a week in eating, but through the other opportunities we have and the other duties that we have, we touch you in all of our constituents in many ways.
And always good to see, especially in those pictures, that young people are very much a part of this. So you see all those smiles. It's a great time for families.
That's correct. I mean, you've got your FFA and your 4-H members that they've worked all summer and they have their projects, their livestock or their photography projects, whatever it may be, that they take to the state fair, and that's where they display and compete for that championship ribbon.
Right. The fun begins tomorrow at the State Fair. Keith, thanks for coming. We appreciate it very much. Calling all kid artists and crafters, the Explorium is looking for you.
Details about the museum go round next on WKYT.
Welcome back into WKYT as our news continues. Do you have an artist in your family, a child who creates his or her own arts and wants to sell them to the public? If so, the Explorium is inviting you to be part of Museum Go Round.
We're joined by Lee Ellen Martin, the Executive Director of the Explorium, with details. Opportunity. Glad to have you here.
Well, I'm glad to be here. We're looking for all those entrepreneurial kids.
Yeah, because Museum Go Round is actually coming up next month, but you want to hear from these kids now who might want to be part of what happens there.
Exactly. And Museum Go Round is a free family festival with all sorts of fun stuff for the family to do. But part of that, we have something called the Artist Alley, and it's basically an art and crafts fair put by children. And
I love that.
All of the artwork is from 18 and under kids, and they come and sell their wares.
And you have some really great examples you brought in. Tell us about this.
These are some, mostly the staff has purchased these over the years. This one is Rudy, one of our staff members' dogs, and it was custom. So the young lady had examples, but she would take orders and do your pet.
I love that.
Or we've got this, it's a photograph, but you can see it's a wildcat with the UK painted in the eyeball. And this is a beautiful photograph of a butterfly and some Kentucky flowers.
It's spectacular. And you said that what you have right there, the
great story behind
the little vendor who worked on that couldn't keep up, right?
Right. One year, it was in October and it was a cold and rainy day. She sold out in no time flat and knitted as fast as she could. And then she was just done. She ran out of yarn and supplies, and so she just closed up shop and went home. But everyone was wearing one of these great scarves.
That was really good timing on that. So right now, you're putting out that call. People who want to be a part of this can.
Right. So they can just go on our website or call us at 859-258-3253 and register your child. It's $20 for a booth. If you have more than one child, they can share a booth. It does include lunch for two. We'll feed you because we would like a parent to sit with their children. And then, you show up at 9. We have to be there by about 9:45, ready to go that day.
That's great.
So it'll be from 10 until 4. On Saturday, September 10th is when the museum go-round is. But again, you'd like to hear from these young artists early if they want to sell their wares. Thanks for coming.
Thanks for having me.
It's good to see you.
Great to see you all.
Coming next, a way to say goodbye to summer and also help out a good cause.
Details on the summer wind down next.
Welcome back to WKYT News. We want to keep you updated on breaking news we've been tracking out of Pendleton County. We've now established this live picture. A train derailment near Park Street in Falmouth. Again, you're looking live from US 27 at Hayes Station. US 27 is closed because of the derailment.
Now, the train is carrying sulfuric acid, but we don't know right now if there's been a leak. Children from nearby Southern Elementary School are being evacuated to Pendleton County High School as a precaution. Others in the area have been told to shelter in place.
Obviously, a major disruption in that community. We'll continue to track this breaking story. You can find the latest on WKYT.com and, of course, on WKYT News beginning at 4. School is back in, football season on the way. It means summer is coming to an end. Our next guests are hoping that you'll join them in kissing summer goodbye and puckering up for a cure.
Please welcome American Diabetes Association board members Luann Cooper and Heather Wright, who are here to get you out to the summer wind down. Thank you very much for being here. Sounds like a lot of fun.
Thank you for having us.
Luann, I know you've kind of chaired the committee getting ready for all of this, and you have put together quite an event.
We have, and it's Friday night, August 19th at Talon Winery. The event will have a band called Group Therapy, and we'll also have food trucks and, of course, wine. And it's you can buy tickets in advance. You can buy a table for $2.50 or $15, or it's $20 at the door.
Now, Heather, I know you're a board member, but also
Yes.
your company has been a big supporter behind these events. How important is that kind of support to be able to really help kids who need this?
Oh, it's very, very important. We got involved because we know how significant diabetes is out there. And with our financial support, we're able to help the American Diabetes Association raise money to continue to find better treatments for those who have diabetes and possibly even hopefully find a cure.
And you're helping kids and adults.
Absolutely, yes. Research goes both type 1 and type 2 diabetes.
If people are interested in having tickets or going to the event, you said they're available at the door, but you'd like to hear in advance, right?
Absolutely. We would like to hear in advance, but you can wait to the day of the event. And you can go online to diabetes.org/SWD and get your tickets in advance.
And we encourage everyone to come down. It's a lot of fun.
And also a great place to get more information about the organization itself.
Absolutely.
All right. Appreciate you coming in. Good
Thank
luck
you.
with the event. All right.
Yes, it's fun.
Thank you.
Hopefully by then, because we're talking about the 19th, this rainy period will have
fingers
passed.
crossed for good weather on that. Absolutely.
Here's Micah here before we go.
Yeah, I know. Everybody hates me the past couple of weeks. They're just like, why is it always raining? It's not me, okay? I'm just the messenger. But we're looking outside, and we're still seeing some scatter showers and thunderstorms again today, where some get the heavy rain, some do not, guys. It's going to be the case the next few days.
Okay. Thank you so much for joining us for WKYT News at noon. Our next newscast is at 4.
Make it a great day, everybody.